Syed? Hmm? Oh, no. As if that would ever happen. If that ever happens, I wouldn't be here. I'm an MOP guy now. But I ain't training up my horns yet, guys. Come on. There's no way that's happening, G4. There's no way that's happening. What? Seriously? No freaking way! I don't believe you. I don't... Let me see this. G4. Get me my armor. Star Wars has been in quite a pickle for over a decade. It's actually at its peak, the absolute worst it's ever gotten. As much as I don't want to blame her specifically, unfortunately, she is the leader. And as the leader of Lucasfilm, the blame falls directly on her for the last decade plus of poor performance from the company since Kenny took over. Well, now Kathleen Kennedy's reign has officially come to an end, and we have a new age of Star Wars about to begin. Today, we're going to talk about this. I want to give you my thoughts, my feelings, my wild band of emotions, hopes, dreams, wants, demands, and the absolute cannots if you want me back in your corner to buy your products. Let's get into this video. Hello, I'm Discord J Knight, and I used to be, well, still am, a Star Wars fan. And in all honesty, I feel bad for Kathleen Kennedy. On a scale of 1 to 10, she literally gets off the charts hatred, when she really only deserves about 6 or 7. But I do get why. It's because she is the leader, and her leadership has literally split the fandom apart. She has let her employees bash and verbally assault and blame the fans, and repeatedly put out worse and worse executed material focusing on female empowerment and making men look bad, which has resulted in declining viewership and exhausting the fans over Fine for a decade now. Don't get me wrong, don't call me a fan of her, because guess what? In all honesty, I want her gone. And even though we have the official article on Star Wars website now, I still don't believe it. And I won't until the day she is finally gone from the premises. In all honesty, I don't understand how she still has a job. And in my opinion, like it or not, while I don't want her fired to the point where she can never work again, I'm not heartless. I have wanted her fired for the absolute poor handling of the franchise under the leadership. It just makes sense. If it were any other company, hell, let's say a restaurant. Let's go with the McDonald's thing, alright? McDonald's is made to sell burgers and fries. If the manager added lard to the recipe and had the customers in a brawl over who likes the lard burgers and who doesn't, while letting their employees mock and blame all the fans, well, I'm sorry, but McDonald's wouldn't let them work for another hour. No company would. I don't understand how she stayed this long, or how she didn't do anything to control the mess that she made. But according to this article, she's out, and Dave Filoni is in. Honestly, I don't know what's worse. The fact that she finally is out and I feel nothing? Or the fact that there have been thousands of YouTubers over the years who deliberately, to get clicks and profit off the fan war, kept spilling news of her departure forever, only for it to result in unhelpful rumors that did nothing but feed the fire of hatred within the fandom. As a fan of Star Wars, we all went too far. We all went to the dark side. I definitely did. And it wasn't until I strayed away from it, tired of the fight, that I finally found myself again. And to be totally honest with you, I'm scared. I'm terrified of opening that Star Wars door again. I'm terrified of just being hurt again, blamed again, and judged by pure evil. But no matter what, I still love Star Wars. I still have fond memories of it growing up. So today, I'm going to make this video telling not Lucasfilm, not Kathleen Kennedy, not George Lucas, no. I'm making this video for one man, Dave Filoni. And while he'll never see this video, it will most likely go on deaf's ear out into the void of space and be drummed out by the sound of the raging war. I'm going to make this plea and use my tiny, insignificant voice in hopes to save Star Wars. Now, what are my personal thoughts on Dave Filoni? I used to like him. In fact, I still pretty much do. Look, I didn't really grow up on the prequels. I saw episode 3 in the theater, and yes, I watched all of the movies leading up to that. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, thanks to my dad, and my sister was a super fan of it as well. But my Star Wars, honestly, after episode 3, there was nothing else. My Star Wars, the Star Wars I really grew up with from the age of 10 to 28, was literally the Clone Wars animated TV series. And Dave Filoni was the protege of George Lucas, creating the show. When Disney took over and canceled it, I hated the fact that it was canceled. In fact, the only reason why I gave Episode 7, Disney's Episode 7, a chance was because I knew Dave Filoni was working on his own shows as well. And Rebels. I love Rebels. Not as much as I love Clone Wars, but I enjoyed it. However, in recent years, I do believe his production quality has dipped. But I honestly am willing to chalk that up to poor management under Kathleen Kennedy and not personally blame him for every little detail that went wrong. If he is going to be the head of Star Wars, I want to give him a chance. But there are 10 things that need to happen if he wants me to become a fan of the big series again. Now, again, I know that he's only doing half of the work. He's basically only the creator, while the business side is actually someone else, which actually is a really good idea. But at the end of the day, let's face it, Dave Filoni is in charge, and this is honestly what I think needs to happen. Okay? Number 1. The Force's female shit has got to stop. I hate the gender wars. I think it's nonsensical. I understand how and why it began. It wasn't what people think it was, and it wasn't what it turned into. Consuming the entire entity of Lucasfilm, it wasn't supposed to be a movement to destroy fans. It was supposed to be a movement to empower female fans. That alone was enough. Do some charity events, highlight some amazing female characters, because Star Wars has very many amazing female characters, and wrap it up with a bow. What it turned into was a way to insult the fans, insult the male fans especially. The Force isn't female or male. It's an energy field made up of all living things. It isn't some girl or guy making up the rules. That movement only exists now to split the fan base, to make men look bad or women look better, encouraging a gender battle within the war and creating sexism on both sides. Guess what? I don't give a damn. I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. Just give me good Star Wars stories. This has got to go. Stop the Force is female stuff. Stop over focusing on female characters. That is number 2 for me. Oh, and I get it. You sexist, right? Dude, I love Padme. Not because she's a woman, although I have to admit, as a guy, yes, I like girls, and she is beautiful. But a beautiful nobody isn't going to make me like them as a person. I like her because she's a character. When I was a kid, there was no female or male character. There were only just good characters and bad characters. Padme is my queen because despite being a damsel in distress, in a bit of distress, she is able to stand up, fight, and pull her own weight. She battles on both the front lines and in the political hierarchy of the government, proving she has brains, yet is still able to be a beautiful woman. She is feminine, but she is not a jerk about it. Strong, but not a meathead. She represents everything I, as a man, believe a powerful woman should actually be. Instead, you make women look like these male wannabes. No joke. Like, who can do no wrong. They're Mary Sue's. They can be petty because they can't be pretty because if they are, they attract the male gaze, and that's somehow bad for some reason. I hate this woke BS. I love Ahsoka, Padme, Asajj Ventress, Leia, and as an MLP fan, I love all the girls in My Little Pony, and My Little Pony Generation 4 doesn't sit there. In fact, Generation 5 doesn't even sit there and waste their time making the boys look bad for no reason just because it's a girl show. In fact, they actually treat the male characters very well alongside with the girls, despite the girls being generally the heroes of the series. I like My Little Pony. You really think I'm gonna be the one being called sexist? Really? Really? Oh, God. I love all the girls. MLP doesn't sit there wasting time making me look bad for no reason. I hate how Star Wars treats male characters as if they're playing second fiddle. The Rebels would have never defeated the Death Star if it wasn't for both Luke Skywalker and his sister fighting together. Not separate battles, but together on the same front. One war, different battles maybe, different times, you know. Luke Skywalker's on the Death Star, his sister is actually, you know, in the Senate room. But guess what? They have to help each other. That is what Star Wars is. Stop arguing. It doesn't matter if there are more male fans because there are awesome female characters. There are awesome female fans. Pitting us against each other is a shameful act done by Kathleen Kennedy. Make some good characters. Make some good male characters that aren't just outshined every 2 seconds by a female. It's really needed in this new age of Star Wars. 3. Do not decanonize anything. Hear me out. As much as The Last Jedi was bad, it was nothing like the dumpster fire that we got from The Acolyte. I hate that show, but there are those who like it for some reason. I don't understand it. Decanonizing it will only hurt them. And I'd rather ignore its existence and watch something both I and the Acolyte fans have in common instead of making something new. Don't ruin the old. Honestly, do the same with the sequels. Number 4, how to reboot. I'm not saying remake Star Wars from scratch. I'm saying we need a new fire in the box. Something not connected to any time period. Something exciting, taking place far after, into the future, past the sequels, or far before them. I would love the Old Republic to be this. I want the Old Republic so badly. There's tons of material to take inspiration from, but really make it your own. And number 5, turn comics into animations. This is more of what I want. This isn't really a necessity, but this is what I would do if I was Dave Filoni. Like, there are so many great comic books, and I mean, even the Acolyte comic books, the High Republic, which I think you have to be high to enjoy, but hey, some people enjoy it, so be all high as much as you want, I guess. Look, there are some amazing comic books that could be amazing animations, like Darth Vader, the Darth Vader series, how he got his first red lightsaber. That was so cool in the comic books. You could honestly make that a great, great show. And here's the thing, here's why it would be also really good to make those into animations, because let's face it, the comic books and all of the books are always being decanonized by something within the actual story, within the actual media of, movies and video games, and don't even get me started on how the TV shows actually do a lot of work decanonizing everything. If you just made those books and those comic books into actual animated series, I think that would have done great. Just do more Tales of the Jedi. Do more Tales of the Empire. You could call it. You can just call it the Star Wars Tales series, and you could just do a lot of the comic books in animation. I would love it. I would love to see even Kylo Ren's past. With Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, and see how that went. I would love it. Okay, rapid fire now. 6, don't announce anything unless it's officially in unofficial stages. I hate how many cool announcements we get, and then they cancel every, 3-4 weeks? 7, don't let your employees harass fans. Don't let them call us ugly names and expect us to pay for your garbage. Anyone who has done so should be probably looked at, reassigned, or let go. Don't work with them again. 8, toys should be only made of stuff that actually catches on, like it did for The Mandalorian. Don't waste millions making toys that will go into the dumpster. Just, put out a good TV show, wait until the fans like it, and then start putting out that content, like you did for The Mandalorian. I think that would save a lot of money there. 9, stop blaming the fans for calling us bad people. I'm really sick of being called a racist, sexist bigot for, a show, a cartoon, a movie series, really? This is stupid. 10, keep effing politics out of it. I mean real world identity politics, especially. Yes, Star Wars has always used historical politics as a basis to ground the world, but it's never pointed its finger out at a guy and called him a bad guy. I don't really like that. I don't really like the idea of any of that, religion, sex, or skin color, any of that. I hate how much media has bled into that, how much that stuff has bled into our media today. Our differences are highlighted to an extreme, forceful amount, making us look at each other and literally hate each other, make us act like enemies on the inside. That doesn't matter. If you're a trash person, you're a trash person regardless of the so-called disguise you wear, whatever your face looks like. It matters what's inside the person, not what's on the outside of the person. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars, it's about friendship and family coming together to stop anger and hatred for corrupting the heart. Even if you fell, redemption is possible. Darth Vader committed heinous acts and fell into self-loathing. But when he finally let go, forgave himself, and acted on the plea from his son, he became a hero. It's amazing that a series with such a profound lesson can be blatantly forgotten by its own fans, including me. I forgot this too. Hatred has corrupted all of our hearts. It's corrupted mine. For Lucasfilm, for its leaders. I'm tired of hate. Dave Filoni isn't a saint. He's got some good, and he's got some trash. Like, I really hated the Bad Batch. Sorry, but that stuff stinks. And so did Mando, Season 3. But he's got a heart. We should criticize and hold him to a standard. But we should also give him a chance to prove he can do it. There's a difference between holding someone to a standard and wanting them just to fail just because you want the whole company to fail. Maybe this is a new age of Star Wars. I've been a fan since I was 8 years old. It's been 20 years, and I still have love for the series. If I had to describe what this news gives me, it's this. I just got the call back from the burning castle that something is changing. Instead of fear, hatred, sadness, or excitement, I just feel tired. I'm worn down from the war that plagued my once happy space. I'm looking back with curiosity, willing to hear Dave Filoni out before I take another step away from it. Now, don't get me wrong. The moment I see major decline, I will turn back, like so many have before me. But for now, I'm willing to listen. I know I'm one insignificant voice in a sea of fans, and he'll probably never hear my words. Even so, my message truly is, may the Force be with you, Dave Filoni. You're our only